Today we are back at home as the 3-5 and 2-3 Delaware Blue Hens play host to the 1-7 and 1-4 Louisiana Tech Bulldogs. Hello everybody, this is Mr. Rob and welcome back to another episode of the Delaware Blue Hens Dynasty here on EA Sports College Football 26, where today Delaware is in a little bit of a different scenario because for the first time, and I could say in maybe since week 1, we might come into this game as the favorites, as Louisiana Tech has dropped to 1-7 on the year. And we'll see what the Blue Hens can do now that they are not going to be the underdogs for once. So if you're excited for this one, make sure you drop a like and you subscribe down below, especially if you want more Dynasty mode content, as Delaware is coming off of a ridiculous loss last week where they lost on a Hail Mary from Liberty. We'll start with the football here in this one with Jonathan Silver getting 3 on the ground. Silver made headlines last week not as a runner but as a pass catcher, as he broke the record for most single game receptions by a Delaware player. He put up 17, that's one more than the 16 put up by Justin Long back in 2004. First drive, the game's looking pretty good for Delaware. They've been running it pretty good, and now they cross midfield with a nice strike to Sean Wilson. The sophomore has got us out to the 40 of Louisiana Tech. Next play, back to the air. Marker looks right side, and Thal can't bring it in. Play wouldn't have mattered anyway, as there's a holding call on left tackle Anwar O'Neal, who's been good for a couple of these the past few weeks, struggling kind of on that left tackle spot. That'll back us up now, 1st and 20, so we'll go back to the air, and there's Silver out of the backfield. Sutter stepped, though, for only a gain of 4, a little bit thrown behind him. His marker last week did throw a lot of yards, but threw 2 interceptions in the game against the Flames. Is here, that's a dangerous pass. Tried to find Bradell, but Denzel Crowder with the pass breakup, and all of a sudden it's 3rd and 16 for the Blue Hens. Marker to throw, drops back, and he's just going to fire this one to the bleachers. And the drive comes up empty for the Blue Hens, as here is Louisiana Tech for their first drive of the day, led by O'Meary Wiggins at halfback. A lot of struggles from the Louisiana Tech has come from the offense, specifically the quarterback, Evan Bullock, the sophomore, who leads the entire country in interceptions thrown this season with 14. And on the first play of the game, he sends this way over the head of his intended target. 2nd and 10, now he goes play fake, and Bullock with pressure in his face throws it in the dirt. Just like that, it's a 3rd and 10 for LA Tech. Empty here for Bullock. Drops back to throw, and he fires this one deep. One-on-one coverage, but Ali makes the play. He's been very good in the deep ball. And that's an 0-for-3 start for Bullock. Back to the Delaware offense now. Marker wants to keep it, and the senior quarterback has got a first down. He can run a little bit, not known for it. Now in 2+ territory, handoff for Silver, big run right side. He's had a lot of holes so far today. 4 carries, 32 yards. One of the better starts for the halfback this season. Pistol now on 1st down, a handoff, and what a block by Shupp. He just pancaked that defender right in front of Silver to spring him for a gain of 11. Inside the red zone now. Now play fake on 1st down. It doesn't fool the defense. That one is incomplete. 2nd and 10 now, back to the air. Marker drops back, looks for Silver out of the backfield, and he'll run forward and pick up a first down. Nice job by Silver with the yards after the catch, and it's a goal-to-go trip for the Blue Hens. Handoff Silver up the middle, and he will punch it in. Touchdown, Delaware. Last week we struggled to run the ball inside goal to go. This week we get it on the first play, and it's 7-0 Blue Hens, as LA Tech will get the football back. We'll see how Bullock responds after going 0-3. Only has completed 47% of his passes this year, but there's a big one to Eli Finley, who is actually hurt on the play. He would be okay. He'll rejoin the drive, as now it's a 3rd and 3 for the Bulldogs. Empty set. You can see Finley is back in the game in the right slot, and the pass actually goes to him. And the junior tight end has a first down. Now La Tech has their way into the red zone. Bullock has been perfect 7 for 7 since an 0-for-3 start. Make it 8 for 8. There's a nice quick strike to Shadid Ahmed. Gain of 5. Inside the 10 now. Handoff. Nowhere to go. Beautiful job getting to the backfield. That was Gavin Mall and Dylan Trainer meeting back there. And now it's a 3rd and 8. Bulldogs go empty. Bullock to throw. Looks for the quick strike. He is short of the first down. There's also a flag down. Looks like they're going to get left tackle Brett Canis with the hold, who's starting for their injured Kenneth Bannister. And obviously Delaware, they'll decline it, so they'll force the field goal here on 4th down from the left hash, and the kick is no good. So all that, we stay 7-0 as the Blue Hens continue to hold on to the lead as we go into the 2nd quarter. As it's kind of been the Achilles heel for the Bulldogs this season, so just haven't been able to get points when they need it. We'll start the second quarter on the other side of the field as a 1st and 10 throw for Jake Thaw. His second grab of the day. He picks up 6 and Marker's 7 for 12 for 81 yards. 2nd and 4 now. Marker back to the air. Quick throw for Silver behind the blitz, and he's got a little bit more after the catch. Just so good out of the backfield as a pass catcher. 1st and 10. How about we go right back to him? He gets 7. 5 catches, 41 yards for Jonathan Silver. As he's getting his stamp on the passing game again. 2nd and 3, they motion him out. Has him in the flat, but Marker wants the deep ball for Wilson, and it's incomplete. Takes a hard shot there. Makes it now 3rd and 3. Marker this time will throw it to Silver, and he'll make sure he gets the first down before pushed out as Marker crosses the 100-yard mark. At the 21 now of the Bulldogs. Back to the air. Quick throw for Sessoms. The backup tight end has a gain of 4. His first grab of the day for the senior. 2nd and 6, Burdell will check back in as Marker just throws it for Silver, but this time the Bulldogs read it. Good play by Mekhi Mason, getting the start for their best linebacker, Colby Fields, who's dealing with an injury. 3rd and 7 now for the Blue Hens. Split back, Marker throws it to Sessoms, and he'll be marked shy. And 4th and 2, Delaware's going to keep the offense on the field. Getting aggressive here. 4th and 2, they go to the air. Marker across the middle for Patterson, and he holds on through the contact. Tough grab for the senior. The gamble pays off as it's now a goal to go from the 6. Back to the air again. Marker short. This one's tipped, and there's actually a flag as they'll get Patrick Shupp for a holding. So that'll back up Delaware's offense as now it's going to be 1st and goal from the 16. Split look again. Marker to the air. Steps up. Wants to scramble. He does. He'll run it inside the 10. Basically get the yardage back. Make a 2nd goal from the 8. Screen pass for Silver. Right side. It's a foot race, and he will get down to the 1. Delaware struggled to punch it in from the 1 last week against Liberty. 3rd and goal. Handoff Silver up the middle. This time he will score a pair of touchdowns in the first half for Jonathan Silver on the ground, and Delaware leads this one 14-0, and he'll do his little dance again as they celebrate the early lead. Louisiana Tech, nothing so far to show on offense after a good drive that ended in a missed field goal in their last time out. As here on 1st and 10, they pick up 4 on the bubble screen. 2nd and 6 now, back to the air. Bullock will look short as Finley can't hold on. A great hit knocks the football free. And now it's the 3rd and 6. To the air, looks to step up, and the second level has a man deep. Luckily for us, that one was a little high. If he hits Jay Wilkerson in stride, he could be gone for 6. Instead, it's down to the 27. Spreading out the defense. Bullock again to the air. Looks short. Has a man. This is Wilkerson again. And Jay Wilkerson has a pair of first downs. Inside the red zone go the Bulldogs. Throw across the middle. Caught. Catch and run for Jackson. And Marleon Jackson has 8. As Bullock's now 14 for 19. 126 yards. Looks like a pretty solid stat line. In the pistol here, 2nd and 2. They hand it off to Wiggins. Tries to bounce it outside, but he won't get there. Now it's going to be a 3rd and 4 after the tackle from Dylan Traynor. Bullock scrambles, moves to his left, gets a block, and he will actually walk it in for a touchdown. I think that surprised Bullock. He got a great block. I don't think he expected to score, but he does, and it's 14-7 as we go to the 2-minute warning. Delaware goal to go from the 9. Handoff Silver up the middle. He'll pick up 2 on his 8th carry, 54 yards for him, and I'll make it 2nd and goal. Marker back to the air, drops back to the throw, looks left side, he had Thaw. That one's airmailed, incomplete, and now it's 3rd and goal. Marker back to the air again, looks short for Sessoms out of the backfield. He'll get hit down, and Delaware, well actually Louisiana Tech will call a timeout. They want the football back, and Delaware is going to keep their offense on the field. Gambling again, 4th and goal from the 3. They hand it off to Silver, and he won't get it. He's met at the line of scrimmage, and the gamble doesn't pay off. That time I don't really agree with it. Take the 3 points, go up by 2 scores. Fortunately for us, Louisiana Tech will do nothing with their set of downs, and we'll call our timeouts and try to do it again with 55 seconds. From about midfield, Marker 1st down, hit as he throws. That one's incomplete. 51 seconds left to go now. Marker behind Silver out of the backfield, and he'll gain 7. 200 yards passing in the first half for Zach Marker. We'll go hurry up. Inside 30 seconds. Handoff Silver. He's tracked down from behind, and that's going to make it a 4th down. But again, Delaware's going to try to go for it. Clock is also running down. No timeouts were called. There's 5 seconds left. Marker just gets the snap off. Throws it short for Silver, who's tackled down with 1 second, and Delaware will burn the timeouts. That was close to hitting triple zeros, but now we'll have enough time to trot out the field goal unit, Nate Reed, as this one's pretty centered from 46 outs, and it will just squeak in the uprights. And that means Delaware will take a 17-7 lead into the half, and what has been a lot of the Blue Hens' dominance, but Louisiana Tech's looked pretty good. They had the drive that ended a missed field goal, then they had a touchdown on it 2 drives ago. But Delaware, they lead by 10 over a team that they should be favored in. We'll see how they do in the second half. Louisiana Tech will start off with the football. We'll see if they can stop the Blue Hen offense, and we'll see if we can continue to make things rough on the Louisiana Tech offense in the early portions of this game. We'll find out who is going to take the win as we get right back. Here is Louisiana Tech at their own 18-yard line to begin the second half. It's a handoff, and Wiggins goes nowhere. Great run defense by Delaware. There's Gavin Mull again, his second TFL. Now they'll go back to the air as Mull's untouched up the middle. This one's short. Somehow is caught by Wiggins. I thought CA would get a hand on it. Instead, it's going to be a gain of 8, and now it makes it a much more manageable 3rd and 3. They trust Bullock in the air. Looks right side. This one at the sticks. Oh, takes a huge shot from Worley. Gets the first down, though, but it doesn't count as there's a holding call on right tackle Hayden Christman. So Louisiana Tech will back up and try it again. 3rd and 13 here. Spread out the defense. As they'll go back to the air, and Bullock looks to his right. Throws it right side, and this one is caught. The tight end Eli Findlay makes it a grab. It looked like a basketball play. He just straight boxed out Worley for the rebound. Except instead of a basketball, it was a football. So good play keeps the drive alive for the Bulldogs. As Bullock on 1st and 10. He'll check it down short, and this will be a nice catch and run. They'll pick up 8 underneath. Now inside Delaware territory at the 49. As they'll go with an RPO, bubble screen right side, and this one will just get the first down. Jay Wilkerson will move the chains. Next play, bubble screen left side, and Louisiana Tech likes their RPOs. Delaware's done a pretty good job, I would say, at containing them. But overall, Bullock's starting to get going in the passing game. There's 7 more. Sits down in front of the sticks. Now 3rd and 2. Bullock wants to keep himself, but he doesn't fool the defense. Blake Matthews will bring him down, and that'll be a punt for the Bulldogs, as their first drive of the second half ends in giving it back, as this is a corner kick, and it goes out at the 2-yard line. What a punt. John Hoyette chants with it. The true sophomore will back Delaware up, and their first drive of the second half begins at their own 2. Silver gets his 11th carry of the day, picks up 2 yards. 2nd and 8, trying to get out of the shadow of their own end zone. Burdell wide open in the flat with a vicious stiff arm, and he's going to get out to the 26. Great job by Jake Burdell to create space after the catch. That'll get this drive started. No longer have to worry about a safety, as on the first down, it's a quick throw for Jake Thaw. And he'll pick up 7 across the middle for the team's leading receiver. Next play, getting back to the line of scrimmage, trying to set up a screen. Silver left side, and he will run up the middle. Another pancake from Shupp. He's just laying out people when he gets in space. 12 catches for Silver. He could very well break his 17 reception just from a week ago. As here's number 13, Short, keeps his footing, and he picks up 8. Zach Marker's up to 257 yards on the passing day. 100-yard day also for the air for Silver, makes it 2nd and 2. Marker drifts way back, and he just fires this one out of bounds, and he'll live to fight a 3rd and 2. Making some adjustments here. Louisiana Tech showed blitz, they backed off. Short for the boy who can't hold on. That'll be another punt. Stays 17-7. Both teams punt on their first drive of the half. It's on 1st and 10. Here, Bullock is sacked. Keyshawn Hunter gets in the backfield again. His 2nd sack of the ball game. Loss of 6. Now it's 3rd and 16. Short throw. This one's caught by Devin Gandy, the Sacramento State transfer, and he'll only get 8. And Louisiana Tech will punt the football back. Next drive for the Delaware Blue Hens enters enemy territory. As here's a throw right side, and that one's broken up. Incomplete. Forrest Davis in coverage. 2nd and 10, big blitz. Delaware throws it right behind the blitz, and Jake Burdell will have an easy first down. Good job by Barker to see the defenders and throw it right over their head. He's 27 for 38 for 288 yards. Next play, he'll go back to the air. Looks to step up and run, but a beautiful spy puts him down That was Jakari Foster waiting for him. Only a loss of 1. But now it's 3rd and 11. Pressure from the left side. Marker rolls to his right, and he gets hit as he throws. Delaware will kick the field goal, so they'll make it 20-7, as it's now a 13-point lead. Next drive for the Bulldogs will start going backwards. Blake Matthews, 3rd tackle for a loss today. Doesn't bite on the read option. 3rd and 14 now. Trying to get the snap off. They do, as Bullock throws it across the middle, and there's a huge shot incomplete. And that'll take us to the end of the 3rd quarter, where Delaware leads this one 20-7. Looking pretty comfortable here, up by 13, as here's a look at the top 25 rankings as we get deeper into the season. We'll start off with the football in the 4th quarter, 2nd and 6. As Marker to the air looks for Silver, who's got it, and plenty of running room after the catch. He's so shifty at getting some space. Marker's up past 300 yards on the day. And, well, Delaware's at about midfield. Touch pass for Thaw. They will officially cross the 50-yard line with a gain of 1 on the touch pass. To the air again. Marker looks for Burdell. This one's well over the head of everybody. And that makes it now 3rd and 9. Steps back to throw. Hit as he throws. Marker is going to be incomplete. That'll be another punt. And now Louisiana Tech, with a quarter to go, will look to do something with it. 1st and 10. Bullock looks deep. He's got his receiver. And Jay Wilkerson gets behind Ali. And that'll be 57 for a score. Khalil Ali's played really good since coming in as the starter, but he gets burned there. And all of a sudden, it's a 6-point game. 20-14. And the next drive for Delaware faces a 3rd down. Short for Patterson. He can't hold on. And that'll be a 3-and-out for the Blue Hens. And all of a sudden, Louisiana Tech's got momentum. They face a 3rd down of their own, and they won't get it. Great run defense by Kingsley Royal and Gavin Mull. Now we'll go back to Delaware. Another 3rd and 5. Screen for Silver. It's read perfectly. And teams are just trading 3-and-outs at this point. Here's another 3rd down for Louisiana Tech. 3rd and 1. Bullock keeps it. He'll pick up the 1st down and a lot more as he's out to midfield. And finally, a team's able to pick up a 1st down. About 5 minutes left to go in this game as well. Louisiana Tech is in the driver's seat right now. If they score a touchdown, they take the lead. Short, this one picks up 8. Finds Shadid Ahmed for his 2nd grab of the day. 2nd and 2, handoff for Wiggins, who's had a tough day running, but here's a nice run as he gets out to the 34. 8 carries, 20 yards for the junior. Now we're coming up on 4 minutes. Gets his 9th carry here, shrugs off a defender, but then meets another as he picks up 1. Makes it now 2nd and 9. Coming up on 3 minutes now. It's a 3rd and 1. Setting up a screen, and it will go nowhere. Good job by the Blue Hens to rally. They put down Fred Robertson. And a 4th and 4. Louisiana Tech's going to go for it. Field goal does them nothing right now. They go for the 1st down as Bullock on 4th down is sacked. He fumbles the football. It doesn't matter who picks it up. It is the Bulldogs. That's going to be a turnover. Keyshawn Hunter again forces the fumble. However, Delaware will just go right through the downs, and they will punt it away back to the Bulldogs at the 2-minute warning, as they don't have any more timeouts. They have a minute 56. They score a touchdown and kick the extra point. They take the lead. As on 1st and down, there is an insane hit from Blake Matthews. Flips over the receiver. That one's incomplete. 2nd and 10 now. Bullock to the air again. Short. Finds his tight end Finley, who's been busy today. Picks up 4. And you have no timeouts. They're going to get back to the line. Clock is continuing to tick. 3rd and 6. And this one's floated behind the linebackers for Finley. Great catch and run. Beautiful touch pass there by Bullock. The linebackers were sitting short at the marker. They throw it right over their head. Next play, 1st down. And there's another sack. Hunter's got the hat trick today. He brings down Bullock. And they'll go no huddle. Try to hurry back to the line. 2nd and 18. And the 2nd level again. This time it's Devin Gandy for a 1st down. 362 and 2 for Bullock today, who's turned in a pretty good performance. Clock will restart here as Louisiana Tech will force the spike. This is starting to get a little scary. At the 39 of the Blue Hens, Bullock takes the pass, throws right side in the flat. And there's some extra running room as well for Ahmed. And he gets out to the 22, and there's still 44 seconds. Delaware's blown 3 games thus far late in the season. Hopefully it doesn't happen again, but here's a nice strike to Finley, and just like that, Louisiana Tech is inside the 5. Now, they don't go out of bounds, so they will hurry back to the line. It looks like they're going to spike it, but they have numbers on the right side. He doesn't see it. It's a spike, but I think we just dodged a bullet there. If he'd thrown it right side, he would have had the numbers. 2nd and goal. This one's dumped short, and it's a tackle behind the line of scrimmage, but Wiggins does a good job by at least getting out of bounds. And now it's 3rd and goal from the 6. You got 2 chances. You got to get to the end zone. Bullock steps up, wants to throw for it. Pressure from behind. This one sailed out of bounds. And the game's going to come down to this play. 4th and goal from the 6. Bullock in the shotgun. Takes the snap. 4-man rush. Pressure from behind, and he's sacked down. Dominic Brogna will end it. And Delaware will come away victorious in a game that got a lot closer down the stretch than it probably should have. 20-14 is your final. Delaware will improve to 4-5 on the season, and they are 3-3 in the Conference USA, putting together a pretty respectable first season, I would say, in the FBS. It hasn't been pretty, but it's been a lot of close games, and this team could honestly be a lot better than the record showed if a couple of plays and a couple of decisions went the other way. But good job for Delaware. Like I said, they came in as the favorite for this game, and I'd say they took care of business. The big 57-yard strike to Jay Wilkerson in the 4th quarter makes this one look a little bit closer. But overall, a good win for Delaware, who gets a nice win in front of the home fans. And I will say, our second half of the season, outside of one game against Wake Forest, looks a little bit easier than it did in the first half. So if we can continue to win games like this, we could be a pretty respectable team. We also get a commit this week. Punter Rayshawn Sanders will commit to the program, which is big because now everybody on our board has commit. So we have nobody else on our board, and we end the early recruiting cycle with 17 players in a pretty respectable class, obviously headlined by the wide receiver and defensive tackle 3-stars. As right now we are sitting at 59th overall in the country and 4th in the Conference USA, with Doxson and Gash headlining the class. Also get some awards this week. Defensive Player of the Week in the conference will go to Gavin Mull. I think Hunter had a better performance with 3 sacks, but good for Gavin Mull. And then again, for the 3rd straight week, Silver gets Offensive Player of the Week in the Conference USA. Another high-volume day for him, but it doesn't stop there. He doesn't get just conference. He gets National Offensive Player of the Week. Jonathan Silver, we knew was going to be the best offensive player on this team, and he has done a phenomenal job since coming back from injury. Here's a look at the Heisman watch. Austin Simmons of Ole Miss leads the way, followed by Cade Klubnik of Clemson, Barron Morton of Texas Tech in the top 3. Pittsburgh will meet Notre Dame this week in a pretty high-profile matchup, and BYU loses their first game of the season. A week after getting shut out by Kansas State, Texas Tech puts up 45 on the undefeated Cougars. That's college football for you. And then Iowa beats Oregon in a middle-of-the-pack Big Ten game. Let's get to our scores. We're going to start with some action. A lot of MAC games in the week. Ohio beats their rivals in Miami. And then UMass beats Akron and Toledo over Northern Illinois. On Thursday, we got an American game as USF beats UTSA. And then App State 38-6 over the rivals Georgia Southern. On Friday, also in the American, Memphis beats Tulane by a touchdown. Before in the Big 12, Houston beats UCF. And USC stays undefeated. They beat Northwestern, and they move up to number 2, leapfrogging Texas. Saturday begins with Oregon State beating Sam Houston, and Iowa in the game of the week did beat the Ducks, effectively ending any chance Oregon has of getting back to the playoff. Notre Dame escapes a scare against Navy, 37-35. Virginia beats Wake Forest, 27-20. Clemson escapes against Florida State with a win, beating their rivals once more. Middle Tennessee gets their first conference win of the season and hands FIU their first loss. Miami beats Syracuse in the ACC, as well as Boston College by a point over the SMU Mustangs. In the Big Ten, Ohio State puts up 52 on Purdue, and Nebraska goes to Los Angeles and beats UCLA. Florida Atlantic over Tulsa, and then Florida beats Kentucky on the road, 41-20. It's been a good year for the Gators. Duke beats UConn. The Blue Devils up to number 18. And then North Carolina beats Stanford by a point. Bama beats LSU. It sends the Tigers falling down a little bit. And then Iowa State with a close one over TCU. Washington beats Wisconsin in the battle of W teams. And then Georgia State wins by a field goal on the teal field against the Chanticleers. Mississippi State upsets Georgia. How is this not a top story? The Dogs go down in pretty emphatic fashion to Mississippi State. Georgia still ranks 17th, so their playoff chances are not dead. That is a big loss to a Mississippi State Bulldogs team. We see UNLV beat Colorado State, West Virginia with a point victory over Colorado, and Louisville puts up 55 on Cal. Vanderbilt gets another SEC win. That's their second of the season. They beat Auburn. Texas A&M over Missouri. And then we see Southern Mississippi beat Arkansas State. Rutgers blast their rival Maryland 42-7. Marshall beats our rivals JMU 35-21. while Charlotte escapes ECU with a victory. And then Texas Tech, again, beat BYU 45-29. San Jose State over Air Force 21-17. Louisiana beats Texas State 42-36. UTEP loses their first conference game of the season. That puts Jacksonville State in the driver's seat in our conference. They're 5-0. Penn State stays at number 1, beating Indiana, while Rice will knock off UAB. Liberty also beats Missouri State, who have lost 3 straight conference games. San Diego State over Hawaii. We see Utah State beat Nevada, who are only 1-8. New Mexico State beats Kennesaw State. They're looking pretty good also in the Conference USA. And then Kansas escapes Arizona with a 2-point victory. Here are your players of the week. Jermarian McNulty of Eastern Michigan had 3 interceptions in their win. And we know the offense and defense are Silver and Mull from us. Here's a look at the college football rankings. USC, like I said, went from 4-2 with their win this week. I know Texas was idle, but I don't think they should have been passed by the Trojans. I think Penn State's obviously number 1. Texas is obviously number 2. And then, well, it kind of gets into a very top-heavy group. Boise State still the group of 5 representative, with nobody really challenging them at this point. As here's a look at the brackets. You can see SEC and Big Ten dominate the first-round buys like those conferences want. And here's a look at how the bracket would unfold. Some big games still to go as we head to week number 12 around the country. And we'll start off with a Big Ten matchup. Undefeated USC will put that game and that record on the line against Iowa that just beat Oregon. Louisville with 1 loss will play Clemson, see how good the Cardinals really are. While Ole Miss, who's been free-falling, will face a tough Florida team. And Georgia will try to get back in the win column. And they will play number 3 Texas in a rematch of last year's SEC Championship. Big games in Week 12. We'll head the road to face Sam Houston, the Bearcats, for the first time, who sit at 2-7. But I wouldn't sleep on this Sam Houston team, even though their record is not necessarily the best. I think they match up a lot of the same with how we do. And this could be a toss-up game, especially on the road, where we've kind of struggled at this season. And we've kind of just been alternating wins and losses for the past few weeks, and since we won this week, that sets us up to potentially lose the next. So we'll see if we can break that streak and build a winning streak in the next episode. But thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you drop a like and you subscribe down below, especially if you want more Dynasty Mode content. This is Mr. Rob, and I'll see you in the next one.